Alright, so we got a couple loads of rock. We're picking up some bigger stuff, throwing that down for some base, and then filling in over the top of it with the crushed concrete. And yeah, at the rate we're going, we'll just keep replacing it like this, and sooner or later it'll be nothing but rock. All the dirt will wash out. I don't think it'll go anywhere with all this rock we're putting in this thing. It'll just find another spot to the road, I guess. But we're getting it passable again, little by little. Country CrossFit. Gotta fill in that, maybe a little by hand. This out here more, I guess. Well, folks, it's been a wild, I don't know, week and a half here. And we're finally getting ready to head north on up to Oklahoma for the Mid America YouTube Meetup. So, you know, a few days of camping and hanging out with friends, and just hopefully have a good time. The main thing we accomplished was getting the road repaired. I won't say it's fixed or finished, because that was never the intent, but we did get it repaired, and it is officially passable with the RV. So let me give you a look at that, show you what we did. Here, of course, you can see, you know, the rock. We didn't really do anything up on this end because it was all good, but you can see the tracks where I drove the dozer over, and I've run the compactor over it, so everything is, you know, crushed and locked in good. We had a good trench going down the middle here that we filled with rock. That's all crushed concrete. We paid $23 a ton for it. We got 5.4 tons, so that was, or 5.2 tons per load, 2 loads at $119 per load. So it was $23 a ton. And we just mainly filled in all the eroded areas, and then ran the compactor over them to crush them in. Now, some areas like this, when I scoop the rocks, I get dirt in with them, and that's just sand on top. It'll kind of wash off as it rains and hopefully settle in and fill in between the rocks and make it good. Still have a little bit of a indentation there, but that's not really a driving area. That's more for the water to run into. A little bit of a very light hump right here. Hopefully that keeps the water running to the outside, down that wash there, or into this bigger area here, and then down the wash there. So we moved in both concrete, and then we hauled in, you know, from down the hill on our own property. We picked up all these red rocks, or from here. We use those as kind of a support structure, just to strengthen the side where the water was washing it out, and then put the concrete, you know, in front of it to basically be the road base. Same thing on this side. So, and that red rock there was work that I had done before. It held up fine. And then, like I said, crushed it all in with the compactor. So that gives us a good locked in surface that hopefully the water will run over and not under. And then the sediment was building up down here, so last night I just came down and did a quick once over with the dozer. Look at this, we got a gopher or something running under the road. You can see they make like a little hump when they go underneath the surface there. If you step on it, it just crushes down. And yeah, so I just ran the dozer, scraped this off a little bit, and then drove over it with the compactor. It's still kind of wet and yucky, so it's a mess here where the dirt sticks to the smooth drum. Smooth drum isn't really for this, but it's what we got, so I use it. It puts, you know, pressure on it and compacts it down. So a little rough through this area. I got a little chatter with my dozer and didn't get it smooth, but as you probably heard me mention before, I'm not an equipment operator. I just do it. So no expertise here, don't claim to have any expertise. I just kind of figure it out as I go and do the best I can, and you know, get it done. So this corner had a lot of bumps in it where water was just cutting across the road. Now obviously if we get some good heavy rains, it's just going to wash it out again until I get a more permanent solution here. I just don't have time to focus on this right now, so it's much easier to just run the dozer and the compactor over it and get it smooth enough to where you can drive over it without you know, breaking your neck or your rig. And of course then we join up to the road that's been there for years now and holding up just great. And that's our goal, is to get all of our roads to where the base is up to that, and then we'll focus on further improvements. Of course the water here, you know, it's got to go somewhere, and it's all uphill, so the water runs down and it's going to cut across this area somewhere. The goal is to cut some ditches and control where that water goes, and then put in a culvert or two to let it cross under the road. And then you know, like up here we'll put a culvert in for sure, and you can see the ditch on this side of the road. You can see right there is one of the areas it runs off, and up there as well, and that ditch cuts down all along the side of the road, and that's where all the water runs, and we're good with that because that was the intent. We just gotta be able to get the water from the upper side to the lower side without tearing up the road. So ditches and culverts is the best answer I can come up with, and we'll get there eventually. But for now, like I say, just a few passes of the dozer and run the compactor over it just to kind of compact it all down. Makes it smooth enough to drive over. There's no rain in the forecast for the next week, so we should be able to get the RV out today and back in on Sunday. Be all good. Yeah, this was a little bit messy here. Like I say, I need some practice on that, on everything really. I mean, if I would have ran the grader through here, it would do much better, and I can do much better with it. But unfortunately, I didn't have the grader ready to run. I haven't messed with it in a while, so I didn't feel like taking the time to go through and do all the pre-flight inspection, fluids, etc., and greasing everything up and getting it ready to run. The dozer I'd already been using, so it was pretty much good to go. So that's what I chose. But it is what it is. Still got, I don't know, I would say there's 3 to 5 ton left sitting here. So we still got a good amount of rock that we can continue to use, and we will. So, you know, this is road by trial and error. So what's going to happen is it's going to rain again, lots of rain. I mean, it seems this year every time it rains we get like 5 inches, but crazy amounts. Anyway, as that water runs down this hill, some areas are going to work the way we intended them, and the water's going to shed off. And other areas are not going to work the way we intended it, and then we're going to get some erosion. And so what we'll do is we'll monitor the erosion, and that will basically identify the areas that need attention, and then we'll just pack more of this rock into it and figure out if we need to do anything else to divert the water a little bit, put a hump or something like that, just change the terrain a little bit, and yeah, we'll just keep doing that, and that will keep the road operational until we can do something with that. So once I get my area cleared and start taking dirt and fill in this whole side, widen this baby out, then we'll start working on the more permanent solution with proper ditches and culverts and everything else. Even got those drain boxes. So, and of course, you know, a lot of water coming off that hill is coming off the roof of the shop. That's 5,000 square feet. So once we get rain gutters on there and get our rainwater collection going, that's gonna remove 5,000 square foot of area from that equation. So that should help too. But a lot of things to do before that. Of course, if you've been following along, you know that one of the big things I got to do is go back and deal with the government bureaucracy, because still haven't been paid for my move of stuff up here. So that's #1 priority after we come back from the trip. Got to head back to San Antonio and go fight with the government bureaucracy. Once we get that squared away, then the hope is to turn around and come up here. Well, I got a dental appointment in July, so I got to go back for that. But other than that, I think my calendar's fairly wide open until around October. I got a family event in October, so I'll be taking that off and heading on a trip. But other than that, I'm hoping I can spend some time up here and get some work done, and you know, that of course will give me the ability to make some more video too, and hopefully have some decent content of the work that's going on. Already looking at electrical stuff, starting to plan my purchase of electric panels and so forth, and that'll be a big project coming up here in the near future, hopefully. So stick with us. That's where we're at. Stick with us. Let's see how it goes. Appreciate y'all. God bless. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one.